Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting, amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero, Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off here to our 1 vs 1 on Crossroads. In the south, we got here Dennis fighting for the Commonwealth. King and country here rolling out with the 7th Armoured Division versus the Dastardly Hunts of PS3Yes, fighting for the German army here in the north, the Oberkommando West. Rolling out here with the 1 and 16th Panzerdivision Winhund. And we got fortifications, elite armored, and spec ops here for PS3Yes with double orbiter and anti-tank gun versus mobile assault, royal artillery, and vanguard with triple infantry section bulletins there for Dennis. Double fortifications there for PS3Yes, standard opening there, and similarly 3 sections for Dennis. Very much the standard as well. Nothing eye-popping here as of this moment. Pushing out east and west, a more aggressive opening here in some ways for Dennis. Allows him to seize more ground, obviously, but at the same time, does leave a section within unable to support each other, so in case he gets rushed by a Sturm Pioneer section, depending on how PS3Yes does it, Dennis could find himself in a bit of an awkward spot, hitting the northern munitions here. Nothing further happening in the back there in Dennis's command headquarters. Lots of sandbags here. Dennis taking a very measured approach here against those dastardly Germans. Sturm Pioneers going to hit the cuff point and be catching a section ring about there. Nice day for a walk, wouldn't you say? Yes, free of Germans that might peer out of flank and murder us. Oh no, they actually did. The cheeky devils. So there you go, catching up behind heavy covers of section. There you go, force nature pro pursue here. Considered cutting the point neutral, a bit of a secondary, condition, but there you go. Got the point neutral but closer to the section. They're going to have a good chance with their assault rifles. The section they're going to drop up quickly. More fortifications out there for PS3Yes. Section they're already taking losses, and there you go, routing. Nice car push there by PS3Yes. On the other hand, while it's been focused on disruption, it's not been able to kill fuel. So we'll have to see how this works out. But there you go, fortifications the section. And because of that little tombstone, they pretty much straight up win this engagement. The fortifications do not stand a chance. Then he falls back. But we can see this quickly dispatching his troops from the south here, keeping the Sturm Pioneers around to keep harassing around here. Cheeky play, but effective. Universal on the way there for Dennis very slowly. Fortunately, they're taking heavy loss. The section's completely beating the stuffing out of them. There we go, moving up here. Catch the section about there, but there you go, taking losses down to just 2 men still. PS3Yes is determined to buy as much time here against Dennis. Slow down his tech as much as possible, which he's definitely got. But there you go, he has to retreat down and there. Oh, he's going to lose the Sturm Pioneers. In fact, he might still lose them because they're low health and also have to retreat across negative cover. And he's skirmishing there, catches the section there off guard, forcing a rout. And in the west, he's finally got the fuel point. Sort of, he can grab it now. 4 squads up there for PS3Yes. Triple sections and a universal care there for Dennis. With bolstering going on there, increasing the strength of his men. By numbers, that is, not by feeding them better quality tea, obviously. That's for the officers. Troops hitting reinforcement. Obviously, you have fast PS3Yes techs up here, and what he techs for. In the case, they're routed by the Fulton and they're hitting the fuel point here. PS3Yes keeping up very consistent fuel harassment against Dennis. Very good play. Very good play. Versus a German heavy infantry build, he might either want to get the Vickers K out there, or even just get a regular Vickers heavy machine gun to that way contend with those dastardly Germans, and that way keep their numbers a bit down. Because otherwise, he's heavily outnumbered. Meaning, if PS3Yes just decides not to try and fight any decisive engagement, just keep running around corners with Dennis, he can quickly, pen him in there, or corral him in, and leave him without much to do. So that could be a really effective tactic and strategy here by PS3Yes. But there you go. Universal Care with the Vickers K, though I don't think they actually mounted that one in the Universal Care. That was more like, Jeeps and the like, so I think that one was more mounted with heavy machine guns. I think even some used 50 calibers. Coming up here, platoon command post up, snipers, sappers, armoured cars on the way here, most likely for Dennis. Academy on the way for PS3Yes with the Universal Care, no tech up yet for him, though he's got the resource. He's also going for a Panzerschreck, so the question is here, what is PS3Yes planning versus Dennis? Having to go for that many anti-tank weapons. Sturm Pioneers right again, flank into the section. Could see a wipe, and if he's really unlucky, the Panzer upgrade will hit, and then he gets the unit wipe there. That'd be pretty unpleasant there for PS3Yes. Amazing there for Dennis, but in this case, did not happen. Still forcing a route to end assembly and the car point exposed. Of course, he's now got the southern fuel as well, so with this, PS3Yes is going to get ahead of Dennis, but just as importantly, he's not going to be quite as vulnerable to harassment right away, anyways. So there we go, straight out Wehrmacht Schlepper out. We'll have to see what he ends up with. Battle Group Headquarters or Mechanized Regiment, he could easily go for either. Got the Universe they're hard at work. Sturm Pioneers reinforcing. Cancel the Panzerschrecks, you could probably get reinforcements that faster. Might have been the Panzerschreck was a mistake. Certainly also a possibility there from PS3Yes. Radio Society doesn't want it anyways. I mean, there's a number of sort of potential avenues that PS3Yes could have been thinking in. Wiring off here, Graham Western Fuel Point. Carve Point reclaimed by the German army.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
That's the men of the 7th Armoured finds himself there, being slightly pushed back there by Harry Hun. Got a bit of a flank here going around the fuel point, but not quite successful. Troops moving backwards there towards the base. Nothing further going on. We got weapon racks up. Likely going to be some Bren guns here. Not that Dennis has a lot of munitions for that at the moment, but one Bren is better than none Bren. Shots being fired back and forth here. Section versus Volkskondiers. Sappers standing on watch here by the far western fuel point. Volkskondiers standing about here. Got Universe Cannon moving northwards and up here. Trot on the way. It's going to be the Battle Group Headquarters here. The comfortable Hauptquartier for PS3Yes. In the east, continued skirmishing here. It's going to be a win there for Dennis. In the longer run, though, if he doesn't speed it up, it's still going to be, at least roughly 1 more minute's worth of fuel here for PS3Yes off that fuel point. So there's an argument here for Dennis trying to maybe get his men to do work a bit harder. So we got one Bren gun out here. Sturm Pioneers up inside the house and then quickly popping out the other way. Could try and flank the section there, go for the car point. There's one of the options the PCs could go in. Versus Dennis and his merry band of Britons. And there you go. Sturm Pioneers survived from the Bren gun. Heavy fire there being laid down. In fact, managed to double Bren it. Very unpleasant there for PS3Yes men. Great though for Dennis. Here in the car point again, got Volkskondiers moving up. Vickers on the way to help deal with PS3Yes men. Very nice choice there, I would say a bit belated. I also like going to have to consider 6-pounder gun at some point here. Versus PS3Yes in the east. As he finally pushes off the Germans from the fuel point, another squad moves in to basically prevent him from just moving easily towards it. So, nice pressure in there by PS3Yes. He might also want to consider upgrading some of his Volkskondiers with assault rifles. And, speak of the devil, he got the upgrade there happening. Flank happening up with the Bren guns in tow, routing the Volkskondiers. And cutting them down. So there you go, Vickers machine gun out there for Dennis. Sappers routed here in the north. Fun fact, the British actually had a tactic with the Vickers same machine gun where they'd actually angle it upwards and fire it up into the air and then have the rounds land down on the enemy. Basically using it as incredibly micro-light artillery. Little fun fact there. It was apparently a tactic they also used in World War I and still used in World War II at times, though I'm not entirely sure how it would have been fully executed, and obviously I don't think it would be an easy thing to do in a game like Companies, but apparently they did do it. So little neat fact there. And in fact many things could in different ways be improvised as artillery by just angling them upwards. I mean, for example, in one case during fighting in the Baltics, the Germans managed to drive a bunch of Panthers, and I think it's actually on the Eastern Front, not the Baltics, or close to there, but I think more the Ukraine or something like that. Basically managed to drive a bunch of Panthers up some slopes so they could that way fire up into there and that way use the Panthers as artillery. Fun fact. Apparently they're also really fast acting artillery because again of the sheer velocity of the shells. So yeah. Fun note there, fun note. Vickers opening up the back up the section here by the Carve Point, leaving PS3Yes Sturm Pioneers a bit dangling about. Not good for them. Great though for Dennis. Who's actually got enough munitions to at least equip more of his men with Bren guns. He's also got takeout there, realised he needs to push fast for armour versus those dastardly Nazis, and that is definitely the right approach there for Dennis. PS3Yes in the email saying also you consider bringing up some tanks to deal with the Tommies and their bloody tea drinking. Forces are trying to push it, but it's not quite. We've got a machine gun backing up there. Artillery's going to help him definitely also deal with that machine gun and any other sort of dugouts there that Dennis might set up. But gets a bit too close to the Universal and a quick panther rush there. Takes it down to half health, but Carve Point Watchman has been hit. PS3Yes now Risk being the one falling behind Dennis, which is much easier due to the fact that British already has pretty cheap tech, meaning they can quickly get ahead if you're not careful. Also worth noting, he's actually building a full assembly here, so he can just get the medics that way. He doesn't have to upgrade every section of medical supplies. More importantly, he doesn't have to micromanage it. So while it doesn't, it's not something a lot of British players do. This, I would say, some of the CoH ones actually do this because, again, even if it does cost a bit, it's overall long term a really good investment. Again, just frees you up for not having to constantly worry about, do you have anyone with medical supplies? It just means everyone gets healed and gives you more room for action. Still, now the players committed to the doctrine. We got no fortifications, no lead armament, no spec ups, no mobile assault, Royal Artillery, or man guard. So it looks like here that Dennis might be aiming for commandos, though of course there could be a Valentine's until they're happening. Got that universal care fixed up again. Section standing about here. Okay, I don't have sorts there. We can see that PS3Yes is a bit more on the defense, at least he's waiting there for his forces to get ready to push forwards for glorious German victory. Still no further taken from him. Dennis meanwhile is beginning to approach a cromwell. He could also go for a centaur, depending how confident he feels against the situation versus PS3Yes, though considering he has absolutely no tank weapons, the cromwell might be the safer choice there. In case of, a German armoured rush he's suddenly unprepared for.
Capture point is being overrun.
Though, of course, from our perspective, we know there's no German tanks happening anytime soon. So, a centaur is a really safe choice. Unless he manages to somehow just hold the map for several minutes now, and me talking most of the map here, Centaur's going to be a pretty safe choice. We see that Dennis is taking his manpower advantage to build into fuel advantage by building fuel caches, also protects against harassment. So, double nice choice there by Dennis. That's going to really put the pressure on PS3Yes, who, as the Germans, really don't have options like that. The closest is elite armoured with the 223. That way in a secure point there, which can really help you out, but he has to then go for it. Dennis does not need anything besides saplings and manpower to build a cache, so he's got an edge there. Finding on the western fuel point over the eastern ones. Heavy fuel fighting here. We got the Fulton Stream 4 to the assault rifles laying down a volley of lead here that Dennis's men cannot truly hope to withstand. And there he goes, moving up behind. He's going to try and take out that universal case. He's going to panther fast it once and for all until it dies. Schwer there, much Schlepper will probably set up around the calf point for Schwer Panzer's quarters, so they could set up inside the base, but I'm assuming it's going to be set up around here. That's where most players tend to like to place it. First, section almost being marked out. Dennis needs to retreat. He needs to get out of there really fast before it's too late. Dennis probably can now go for the centre, but of course he could go for the cromwell. Ultimately, this is his decision, but he would certainly not be punished for the centre, but a cromwell could easily work out just as well. In fact, he can go for both. Well, he can go for either. No, not both, but he can go for either. On theory, he could be really bold and just say, alright, I got a fat lead, I can actually push either for a Comet or Churchill. Bit more risky though, does give PS3Yes more time, but theoretically he could pull it off. They need to get his fuel pump back here from those dastardly Germans. And we do get the cromwell out here for Dennis and the 7th Armoured Division, the Desert Rats. Sturmpanzer for the 2nd Artillery, no, 116th Panzer Division. 116th Panzer Division Windhund. Because here, Cromwell halfway down there for Dennis. Our 7th Armoured Division, 116th Panzer Division. Blah, my brain is slightly backfiring there, my apologies. Slightly backfiring. Sturmpuny advancing against the section, taking heavy damage here from the Bren guns out in the open. Might get up close enough, but the problem is the Bren going to get straight away so much of their health. It's going to be close, but looks like the Sturmpuny's assault rifles are at this range winning up, partly due to the veterancy. The addition of artillery does not really help the section's chances. The arrival of the Universal Care with the Vickers game mounted on, it does. And right now, then PS3 is starting to find sort of a bit of a sticky spot here with the light infantry gun too close, but Fulton is arriving there to save the day. Orbital line for PS3 is very nice. Still no sign of a doctrine for either player. I mean, we're soon hitting the 20-minute mark, and usually that's where I want a doctrinal choice to happen, in my opinion. And, well, We're not getting any. Cromwell moving ahead. We got one Kidnap out from PS3 to stop this, and it is far removed. Of course, we got the Shroud Planted Quarters, which can provide some light support here. Back here, troops here reinforcing. Almost done, almost done. We got there Dennis's sections all equipped now with Bren guns. I mean, he's overall packing a lot of firepower versus the Germans. He's also getting back his fuel plus more, meaning of course he's not going to be pulling ahead here again. We'll have to see what PS3Yes ends up with. Panther 4 is more or less soon an option, though of course most of the British, if they're getting ahead of you, you might want to get a Panther out before they swarm you with the medium tanks. And we got their specialization, and it is hammered tactics. That means we will actually be seeing comets. That's definitely not going to require Panther here from PS3, as of course he doesn't know yet. We'll of course have to see what sort of thought processes he's having at the moment. Of course we don't know them, but we can sort of guess. But it definitely increases sort of from our perspective the very good idea, at least the necessity of a Panther here, because if he goes for a Panther 4, that comet is likely going to curb stomp him very hard. Oh, grenade off, and that does get away. They got the Sturmpanzer. That's a big win there for Dennis, but more importantly, it tells PS3Yes what his opponent's gone for in terms of specialization. He now knows that hammer tactics is a thing. That means he knows the comet is a thing. So he's definitely not going for the Panther. He's not looking like he is. And certainly then has to consider a Panther as the stronger options, because again, Panther 4 versus Comet, that's going to be a wipeout for the Panther 4. We got briefly considered also which going for more Sturmpanzer since he got another way repairing his tanks. Definitely not a bad idea. Skirmishing in the east, machine gun versus machine gun. And you've had 4 winning out due to being heavy cover. The Vic is losing out because it's only got shrubbery to cover it. Good Lord, Terrence, the shrubbery, it does nothing. Well, of course, it's shrubbery. It can't stop bullets. Still, no sign of doctoral choice here for any of the two players. More sections on the way there for Dennis. I mean, at this stage, Vanguard and Mobile Assault with some commanders, I think they're doing great, particularly equipping them with Bren guns. That could be very uncomfortable here for PS3Yes. But, I mean, he could also keep up for Royal Artillery, but I feel like either Mobile Assault or Vanguard would be good choices. I mean, in this regard, Vanguard will also give access to the Crocodile, strengthening support, a lot of strong abilities, really just providing backup here versus PS3Yes. Grenade off, booby trap off from the point, very nice. Holding the point valiantly. Sturm Pioneers with the Panther Shet. You can see there's certainly that PS3Yes is worried about enemy armor. He's almost got the manpower for the Panther. The Panther come back in front, but he's ambushed here by the American getting him some kills. Jürgen sacrificed in service of Deutschland. Panther Shet misses the mark, crumbling up in the west. And there you go. Note he's attacking around the point. He's probably seen the booby trap thing. He can actually set off booby traps to sort of hit the strategic point itself. They can also be struck with by minesweepers, so he's trying to do that. Of course, it is tricky to set them off, but it is doable. Got the Vickers K Universal Care there. Nice work, though. Didn't get the cash, but at least that's one less flip to me to worry about. Of course, long term, he does want that cash kaput. And can go for the Panther now. In the meanwhile, Dennis is still roughly 3 minutes away from the comp. But there you go, Panther on the way there. Panzer Kampfwagen 5. But his troops are exposed on him as the Crommer firing weight 75 with a gun, backed up by machine guns as well. Back here, troops are reinforcing for PS3Yes. We still got no dots, and there goes section forts, and most of the units gone. Good Lord! They rigged the T! Well, who lies a T set about? They just, thinks, oh great, the Germans make tea for us. They were idiots. Well, they're dead now. That's not nice. Well, the Germans are nice. That's why they're Germans. They're not, the Swiss. Are the Swiss nice? Maybe? I don't know. Anyways, more Cromwell with this. He doesn't actually go for the comedy despite that choice. That's an interesting move there. Great though for PS3Yes. That does mean his Panther, I think, in some ways is better. Of course, unless, of course, gets it flanked by both Cromwells, in which case that's pretty dumb. But that's less Panther's fault and more PS3Yes's fault. There you go. Panther out here. Panzerkampfwagen 5 to back up the 116th Panzerdivision Minhund versus the 7th Armoured, the Desert Rats. Still. And of course, the double Cromwells can allow them to stall for it, maybe. And we got lead Armoured here for PS3Yes. Could have had out sooner, maybe for 221 into 223 for a bit of extra resources, but you know, better late than never. And there you go. Cromwell versus the Panther here. Panzerkampfwagen 5 versus the Cromwell. That is very much engaged one here, though. The closer he gets, he has to keep in mind, the weaker his armor becomes, and penetration goes up the closer you are to the target. Whereas the Panther's got a real pretty good penetration, doesn't need to be up close to get the damage done. Cromwell down here. Definitely not good that he's probably shouldn't have been splitting up his tanks like that. He should have been expecting a possible Panther here. They've definitely been seeing a small resurgence alongside other German armor, thanks to lead Armoured. There you go, Panther going in for the Cromwell, routing it. Got skirmishing in the east. Panther got heat rounds off. I'm pretty sure the actual Panther did not have access to heat rounds. They were more used for lower velocity cannons to help deal with, you know, big armoured targets. Stuff like the early model Panther 4, for example. An early model Stug. So there you go, engaging here the Cromwell. Taking hits from the Piets here. Still should have a good chance of taking out that Cromwell at this stage, though. He might want to, because of getting out of there, just keep driving ahead. No, don't back into the Piets. PS3Yes, not into the anti-tank weapons, you potato. That was a bit silly. I mean, he could have just kept driving onwards here. Of course, he might have been worried about mines. Most players say not to worry about it unless you give them reason to it. There you go, he's blitzing away. Good. He's going to need some repairs on that Panther. In the west, we got Dennis here dug in around the fuel point and denying it to the German army. Back here, healing enforcement, moving up his points. But he also got a munitions cache out for Dennis, of course, opening up for more Bren guns and grenades. But no doctrine still, and no comets either. Morbus on here for PS3Yes to back up his elite armor. Folks, they're getting blasted by the Bren guns. Closing in on the ace level for that section.
Anti-tank gun ready to do some damage.
Panther being fixed up, 6-pounder gun out here for Dennis. We'll have to see what he goes for next, but this stage, either Firefly or Comet to help deal with that Panther. Seizing points far up north here, hiding behind the German lines. PS3Yes certainly found some of the defensive. Need to get a bit more active, I think, with some good pushes. Some good flanking. Meanwhile, Dennis needs more armor out and probably could get away with some mines and other things here to slow down any German assault, though. So far, we are not actually seeing any mines, I think, from Dennis here. Section moving up against the Orbital Darden. He got bomb grenade off, light machine gun being added there. Routed, smoke screen off here. As he rushes to the point in preparation of where he figures the machine gun is, but in this case Dennis actually moved about, didn't move there. Though doesn't matter too much against the Panther, which doesn't care about the machine gun, to be honest. Look, Fritz, er finds a machine give it at us, yeah. What is he gonna do? Who not paint job? Dennis remains without a doctrine. Starting to look a bit strange. And there you go, Panther getting flanked. You need to be careful about that, to be honest. There you go, Panther shoots, misses. Needs to get the devil out of there back towards the base. Would be a real waste to lose it. He also is very much far behind the victory point, so PS3Yes needs to update his tactics and strategies to something that actually helps him gain ground and hold it. Because right now, despite having a larger force in terms of population against Dennis, he's not quite looking like a fellow that has that. So of course, well played there by Dennis, but definitely I feel like PS3Yes could be utilising some of his stuff a bit sharper. But always defending the points here with trenches and other chaps. Here we got double ovals coming up the east side. Heavy machine gun fire there, raking back and forth across the eastern fields as PS3Yes leads a minor assault. In the west, creeping ahead here. Panther halfway done. It looks like Dennis is planning here for a comet. There we go. Comet taking on the way. That's going to be nasty trouble there for PS3Yes. He might have to go for another Panther, in which case we're going to see a larger premium medium engagement. Foxes flanking in.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Nice flank there by PS3Yes. Crom moving up. Panther almost done. There you go. Kedma moving up. Might try to get off of Panther. Also got the section occurring up. The Crom was advanced. Gunning down the Academy for enforcing a route. He's sadly meaning PS3Yes didn't make any bigger gains. In fact, it might be time for PS3Yes to consider just giving up on this for now and just pushing down the southeast side. But now we can see Dennis is actively beginning to lay down mines. Very good. In fact, we got a nice little dense minefield here.
Rocket artillery unit has been sent to the battle. New land mattress ready to go.
Meaning this is going to get very uncomfortable here for PS3Yes since he's got no minesweepers. In fact, he's Sturm Pioneers have a Panzerschreck. And now we can see we got a dogs on choice here for Dennis. It is mobile assault. Very late choice, though. Very late choice. Please have done more with it sooner. Calling in the land matches. We'll never see any commandos appear that they could be helpful for Dennis and the 7th Armoured. We got the con going up and getting the orbital and landing a nice hit with his 77mm gun. Panther on the scene and she pushes back the Comet for now. Another hit there. 6-pounder gun returns to the Faber. Land matches moving up. Need to be careful with that one. Here Dennis, and in the east a bit of standoff here as well. Still, with this PS3Yes has gained access to the western fuel pond once more. Another land matches barrage, or first land matches barrage. So for Leipzig goes for the Panther. What PS3Yes does, he could also try and aim for a King Tiger now. But there we go. Second Panzerkampfwagen 5. Come there in repairs. Panther close to being good to go here. Troop ceiling reinforcing. Panther moving ahead. Points on these being seized. Shoots. Trying to hit the Comet, and it looks like recently worked up. But there you go. Cromwell could fit in the flank of the Panther. There you go. Lands a nice hit. Anti-tank opening. So we got Betty 2 here on the Panther, increasing the armor. But it is being pushed back here by dense British and the tank fire. We got the Sturm Pioneers backing up here. Comet still being repaired. Halfway done, they took a lot of hits from the Panther being repaired. You've got section versus orbital done because in the house there's not really doing anything there for Dennis, truth be told. Second Panther almost done there for PS3Yes. So there we go. Small Panther platoon, and there you go, adding the tank commander to the second one, so that way you can spot for both Panthers, plus calling artillery and other things. Grenade there could be helpful for Dennis to push ahead with against the dastardly Huns. So there you go, Panther repairs, other Panther good to go. Mechanized Regiment I think would be a strong choice for PS3Yes. Getting the repair pioneers out would certainly free up some attention and resource for them in the longer term. Artillery raining down, Cron being repaired. Comet still being repaired as well, taking ages there for Dennis to get that one running again. Grenade off. Ooh, Gammon bomb. Oh, he's not paying attention. Full white there on PS3Yes. Orbital Darden snuffed out violently. Panther going in and taking hits here from the Comet. The 6-pounder gun can't quite hit. Comet still heavily damaged though. You probably should consider more pioneers at this, or sappers at this stage, just to speed up the repairs on that Comet, because that thing is getting busted up all the time by the Germans. Got the land matches hammering away. There's 0 kills so far. I think he's trying to take out that light infantry gun to silence the German artillery. So far though, they're mostly silencing sandbags. Pushing forwards here, but the orbital guns range to the Cromwell and waiting British infantry. We could possibly see another PS3Yes orbital gun squads wiped out. In this case, they do manage to pull through. Both sides have premium medium in dynamic repairs, and both could do with some extra tools for repairing them faster. Swarm of infantry machine gun fire here in the west from Dennis against PS3Yes Western Bulwark here. His front line is very thin. Again, rushing into the section here in the east. We got another land matches out here for Dennis. I'm not entirely sure that's the best idea. I mean, his opponent does have some degree of infantry support weapons, but I feel like 2 land matches here is overkill from Dennis, truth be told. He should honestly be looking either not the Comet or Firefly to back up his armor here. That way prioritizing taking out the Panthers, because land matches is not going to help us against those. So that is a bit of an awkward spot here. There you go. Comet being repaired. Cromwell also receiving some. Mine goes off from these, killing several Fultz Grenadiers. Big 2 points wise. Dennis remains on lead over here with the PS3Yes. But double Storm Pioneers will help with repairs. Mines will be a really good lead in the other Storm Pioneer squad. So there you go, land matches ready to unleash hell.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Bit of movement here. 6-pounder gun moving up. There you go, Panther moving forward, section they're being caught by, but there you go, line of fire, the 6-pounder gun, Comet moving in, Crom moving in there, Panther taking heavy fire, most shots are bouncing off, failing to hit, but there you go, more shots are pouring in here, Panther slowly being damaged up, artillery firing down here close, hitting the Storm Pioneers, repaying the other Panther. That'd be pretty bad news there for PS3, as we say, lost both Storm Pioneer squads to that. Second Panther moving in after the Cromwell, 6-pounder gun still ready to back up. Assault here called off for now, in the east we've got a slow advance here, but PS3Yes, but I feel the rest would be a good place for Dennis to push up and actually go for the base. Could disrupt here PS3Yes a bit. Also thrown off. Shroud Panzer quarters those being absolutely hammered by Dennis's rocket artillery. Could see it go down, in which case he might just want to consider going straight for the King Tiger after that. Skirmishing here, grenades being flung, guns are being fired, and chaps are being burned up. Sadly, it ends up being the Germans running into their own bloody incendiary grenade. So there you go, both land matches are fired. The Shroud Panzer quarters is barely standing. In these two, we've got the Orbital Dardan versus the Tommies. Section moving in, hitting the trench cut-off point, then flanking up behind the Orbital Dardan. Routing PS3Yes. Smoke off again here on the Comet, halfway to Veteran 2-1. Land matches are being repositioned. Shroud Panzer quarters still in direct repairs. Ooh, straight push here, but right into mine. Costing PS3Yes their few squad members, and of course leaving his troops vulnerable to other troops. Panther moving in. Hot pursuit against the Cromwell. There you go, 6-pounder gun ready to give it a friendly welcome. Panther continues ahead here into hostile territory. No mine to back it up here. There you go, falls back. Already half health. And straight into mine with a blitzkrieg. Oh no. Pierce also firing in the no support here. Definitely not a good move there by PS3Yes. No infantry support, no zappers, no nothing. Just drove his Panther in blindly. Unsurprisingly, that didn't always got the second Panther moving in. Still no infantry support here. Light artillery support is also pretty minimal, which at least allowed the Panther to shoot at the infantry, but can that way with its turrets to be shooting quite effectively. Shot bounce, pretty lucky here. Other Panther trying to win, but we got the Comet in the way here. Panther's taking heavy damage here. Oh, we got heat rounds on both. Or at least one of them. There you go. Almost got the Comet. He needs to fall back with the Comet. Might be. Yes, he got really cared enough to turn the tables here on Dennis. Very nice here. Panther by the way very close to Veteran 3. So, small save there for PS3. So that was incredibly risky because it backfired on him like it did on Dennis. And there you go. He might lose the Cromwell as well, which would be. Oh no, that's terrible. The only advantage he's got right now is he's got plenty of resources that he can set aside so he can just quickly begin replacing losses, but that wasn't the best armoured handling there by Dennis versus PS3Yes. I think he got a bit too greedy here, and that PS3Yes was able to, a bit desperately, but nonetheless, actually, punish him for it. Land matches unleashes hell here onto the base, trying to take out some stuff. Gets one of the flak emplacement. These two guys got to push with PS3Yes, not caring about the artillery into his base. Brandhunt gun out off, softening up the British defences. Well, that flak emplacement is dead. The question, of course, is, was that really what he wanted dead? Gentlemen, we shall lead one of the British artillery's greatest barrages in all history to destroy a small flak emplacement. You know what? We destroy it entirely.
The enemy have killed a land mattress crew.
6-pounder gun gone. Firefly out there for Dennis for the 7th Armoured. Panther receiving repairs. Both of them I need of it. As for what Dennis goes for next, hard to say. Could go for double Fireflies, Comet and a Firefly. I suppose a bunch of Cromwells. He's also lost one land mattress. Great though for PS3, yes, they can recruit and turn it back against the Huns. And there you go, we got double Fireflies out here for Dennison, indicating he's really worried about those Panthers and he wants them very much on fire. There you go, almost reaching free Panther, good to go. Just need the other Panther to be fixed up so it can join in the fighting. Otherwise, that is not going to get anywhere there for PS3Yes. Now they're trying away, that's going to be the Mechanized Regiment. Mostly, I think, initially just for repair pioneers, but long term, if he does end up suffering some unfortunate losses, that could give him the possibility to go for the King Tiger. Need to cover up that Panther in the east, there, on the west. Dennis continues to roll up PS3Yes lines. We got victory point lead here, 421 versus 149. That is not great news there for PS3Yes. That is not great news. Section walked here by the Orbital down in full screen. Is very unpleasant loss there for Dennis. In fact, he's down into 2 sections now. Got the Panther on the mine there. Fireflies moving in. There you go. Could fire the Tule Rocket as well just to make sure that goes nowhere. There we go. Fires them first. Misses. Second hits. Other Firefly moving in. Panther trying to desperately escape here. Might want to attack ground here. Shoots. Misses. Second Panther flanking, got the anti-tank moving up as well there. Sturm piles up with the Panther, need to fall back with the Fireflies. Got the main gun there, could get the almost 53 Panther. And the Firefly goes down. Oh no, looks like he gets the Panther, but if he loses both Fireflies in the process, it's going to be worth, I mean, 1 Firefly for a Panther is not too bad. I mean, the Firefly is cheaper than the Panther, but even then, you should be careful about losing more than that. Second Panther, virtually 2, but also now in a really bad spot. Got hit with an anti-tank grenade here from the Sappers. Firefly's going to win it, probably finish it off alongside the 6-pounder guns and the P8s. This is going to be horrible there, movement development for PS3Yes. And there you go. Both Panthers are gone in a rather awkwardly executed assault there. I mean, again, he sent in the tanks, but there was not really a lot of infantry support, which is really important for these kind of things, since the infantry could have quickly, fended off against the Saps and clear out the 6-pounder guns. I mean, that was kinda the job of Panzer Grenadiers. Their job was to look out for any threats, that would threaten the tanks, like in teams anti-tank guns, and clear out the bastards. So, I mean, that's kind of why they're there. A bit unfortunate for PS3. Yes, he didn't bring them along. In this case, the Oberstadt in a sense. So, that could have been executed better there by PS3. Yes. Dennis going for Cromwells to sort of make up for the armoured losses he suffered now. As for PS3, yes, could look like he's going to go here for the King Tiger, the Königstiger. Not too far off from that one. He's got the fuel lead still here, so that's good for him. But yeah, he threw away those Panthers. That's less outstanding. In fact, by the very late stages of the war, I think it was very common for the Germans to actually have specific tank escort crews for the Panthers, for example, just designated Begleitinfanterie. Got the Cromwell out here, though, for Dennis. Troops are healing and enforcing. Land matches hammering away. Enough, he's not recruit the other one. He just allows that one to just sort of lay about. He's going to probably try and finish it off, which PS3 as well has yet to try and repair. Could end up losing it here, which would definitely hurt him, though of course he's still planning for the King Tiger, but it does mean he can't get anything out after the King Tiger, there being a really good support for it. And there he goes, going with the Cromwell, finish it off there. So again, he's playing for the King Tiger, but it now becomes hard for him to bring up any other tanks than the King Tiger. So he's going to have to play that King Tiger really well. Less than 100 points left here. Then it strikes hard and relentlessly. King Tiger is very close. He's got the fuel. He just needs the manpower. No south, a bit of movement here. Front going to be the Zorba sending out. They got the section sending about as well. Big sweeping assault, and there you go, grenade off. Artillery attempt here. That's not going to stop. I think PS3Yes, of course, does when he can't stand on the point without risking losing the entire unit, but he might just do it anyways because he's beating up really fast. Got the section there. Dennis acting to beat out civilian infantry. Commanders might be starting to something we want to consider. And there you go, King Tiger out for PS3Yes, the Königstiger. In the west, PS3Yes advance continues up here. King Tiger in the tank commander, and he's going to flank up behind here. Sturmpioneers are successfully ground the point, though poor Fritz did pay with his life there. And there you go, as soon as the section pops out the chin, the King Tiger gets within line of fire and blasts there. So heading this for the center victory point there, King Tiger securing the area. He's going to need everything he's got to stop that one. And he might even need more than what he's actually got at the moment. Since all he has is a few PS, a 6-pounder gun, a Firefly and a Cromwell. I mean, if he's sends in the King Tiger unsupported, he might just be able to use that, but if the King Tiger receives any support, he's going to require a bit more than that. Heavy skirmishing here. King Tiger taking hits in, there we go. We've got heat rounds, we've got Tilly called in around the 6-pounder gun. Shoots on the Firefly, almost got it. PS there. Oh, flanking. You're probably going to see an anti-tank grenade off. Oh, shies it. Tilly took out the 6-pounder gun, but oh no, he's going to lose the King Tiger, isn't he? Once more. I mean, he did have some info support for it this time around, but still overall. Oh, shot bounce. That was kind of lucky. Lots of bounces there, in fact. So I fear it's not going to last for much longer. He needs to clear out those saps support. There we go, King Tiger down. I mean, he's got most of the units here, though. Dennis actually ended up paying a high price to take out the King Tiger. Firefly, Cromwell, sections, and an anti-tank gun. So, while it is a heavy loss, theoretically it can work out for him. He just gains more territory. And there you go, got commanders called in now here in desperation by Dennis to try to stem the flow of the German army. Still, PS3Yes is in a bad spot. He can't easily go for another King Tiger. He can't go for any other armor. He's got no orbital gun to pull in. At best, he can maybe go for like a Puma or Flak half-track. Maybe a Lutz. Or I suppose the Sturmtiger in a pinch. So we'll have to see here what PS3Yes does here versus the advancing Dennis of the 7th Army. Grabbing the machine here, but that's pretty good here for him. But we got a grenade in return. But not enough there, not enough. Still, PS3Yes remains in a reasonable position there. Dennis again paid a mighty high price for that King Tiger and is very much working out here with PS3Yes. Long-term unit preservation has now worked in favour of him, and he is now in control of the area. It's a good play there by PS3Yes, of course, with some awkwardness here and there. And then the unit preservation, I think, has worked out for him. Now it's down to Dennis somehow, turn things around again by making some really good pushes and getting some really good kills. Straight to the MG-34, position behind the vectors of the King Tiger. The commanders, with Bren guns, by the way, have been halted there.
We're losing a capture point.
Mine spotted there. Sturmpioneers routed. Cromwell almost done. You got 363 here left for Dennis versus PS3Yes 56.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Heading up the east side, moving up the west side. Mines being spotted and swept. We got the crumbling. Oh, mines still being not spotted fast enough, and thusly end up being dealt with by a few German infantry in a very uncomfortable manner. There you go, dollar cannons. One is in fact virtually free. That's pretty good. Cromwell taking heavy damage and very likely could go down here. Dennis's actions sadly are falling a bit apart, and there you go, total destruction here of Dennis's remaining armoured forces. A small victory there for PS3Yes and the 116th Panzerdivision Winhund. Their key troops healing and reinforcing for Deutschland, and there you go, landmasses firing again. Other one by still hasn't been recruited at all, which you do find a bit amusing. Commander charging forwards here, ambush, Bren guns, light gun bombs off here. Rushing the victory point wherever he can. Throws a grenade off, and there you go, Commander's retreat, as PS3Yes proves to be too tough of a defender there. But on the west there's absolutely no resistance from the German army, so Dennis is all upon that. Straight into the sections here, sappers moving up as well. Straight into the line of fire here, the sappers are routed with ease. 56 versus 287. Well, he can go for the Sturmtiger now. He could, of course, theoretically just try and stall for another King Tiger. Hope that somehow works out. Would be a bit risky, but I could theoretically, under the right circumstances, working particularly because, well, Dennis already got a low amount of forces. He's bringing in more commanders, though, more with Bren guns. Again, I think if he'd gone for those when he was much stronger than he actually was, I think Dennis would have been in a much stronger position. But now where he's fighting just to have a presence on the map, it's not quite enough. 56 versus 269. Machine guns covering some of the more vital points. Very good. Commanders creeping up here, slowly but surely. Oh dear, they might see their car removed here by the Sturm Pioneers with a Panzerschreck. West side, a bit of skirmishing as well, a bit of movement. Land matches added again here, 8 kills versus 1. Commanders pinned down, artillery rain down, almost taking out the entire commander squad. Bad news there for Dennis in the west there. We got pressure on the first and fuel point there. Land matches pretty much misses everything. Commanders in the centre, they're pulling through machine and they're routed, overwhelmed here by the sheer pressure there from Dennis and the 7th Armoured Division. On the west, we've got the section here versus this orbital down. The orbital went out there as well. PS3 is pulling about. He might try and flank up behind here. Dennis a bit more sent on the way. Certainly feel a bit of desperation there from Dennis by now. He feels so close. It's more likely to, in some cases make some rather bad calls because, if he just, can just win short term, he doesn't have to worry about the long term. But that's the sort of thing that can actually end up costing you a match. Commanders there, wiped out. PS3Yes, not far from the King Tiger. The question, of course, if he gets that far.
Our capture point. They're trying to take
and again, he may, just because Dennis certainly isn't giving up right away. He's still committed to fighting for King and country, for King George. Commanders moving up the back with Sten guns and Bren guns. Artillery landing very close to the commander. Sturm Pioneers slowly being annihilated. And routed. Sent out. PS3 is very close to the second King Tiger. He's almost got the fuel and he's almost got the manpower. And with what Dennis has, a King Tiger is very much going to be GG because Dennis has absolutely no way of stopping a second King Tiger. Nothing. Straight into the minefield here to push up for the western victory point. These start to get a bit of skirmishing here. King Tiger super close now. He's got the fuel. He just needs some manpower. He's risking losing control of the victory points though. Pin them down here between the machine gun then. Moving up the Kenner team, take out the centre. Super close to that King Tiger. Centre's about to get completely annihilated. And there we go. Pop goes the weasel. As missions and fuel is cooked off. Commandos out again here from Dennis. Very close to the King Tiger there. Very close. So close. $54 versus 165. And there you go. King Tiger number 2 available here for PS3Yes. And with that, I mean, Dennis is very much in a great deal of trouble since he has basically a few Piats to try and stop the King Tiger. That's not enough. Also, I think the Western Victory Point section there being absolutely gutted as they stand no chance. The men dropping like flies in the face of these veteran men. So there you go, full wipe there. He's got now commandos and sappers left, plus a land matches. King Tiger moves up, shoots, misses. Still, the very presence of it, there you go, causes Dennis to collapse. Forcing retreat here of the 7th Armoured Division. A brutal, bloody fight here on Crossroads. A lot of back and forth. PS3Yes. While I think good unit infantry preservation on this, armor preservation was rather poor due to, I would say, rather weak armor tactics comparatively. While Dennis, you know, he struggled a bit more with both things as the game went on. Initially, he's quite well, but as it sort of went on, there was some issues there. Also, his force composition at times feel was a bit weird, and you know, he could easily recruit that land matches. I even feel like he should have gone for doctrine sooner. He wanted, you know, commanders to make better use of it. So in that regard, his doctrinal usage was also a bit on the weaker side. Admittedly, so was PS3. So there's a bit of room there for improvement on both sides with large good movement, and I do wish he'd gone for more than one comet there. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, share with your friends, your family, with everyone. And if you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links are in the video description. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. You're all a wonderful audience, and I hope to see you all tomorrow again. Bye.